Hello, spiritual travelers. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Mystic Owl. We have another Pickacard reading today. Some guidance for the month of April 2020. It could be related to anything. Love, money, wealth, health, family. Whatever the universe wants to pass on will come up for you. Before we get started, I just wanted to give a shout out to the beautiful, the pink flame. You can follow her on Instagram and on YouTube, who sent through to me a whole stack of new oracle cards, just randomly as a generous gift, just to pay it forward, basically. And I decided to use some of these decks in this reading. So thank you, Shani, for that. It actually arrived on my birthday, which was a really magical thing. I couldn't believe that it all worked out so well. It was just a beautiful gift, so I'm very, very appreciative and thankful for that arriving. I hope you're all safe and well in these trying times right now. Let's hope that the coronavirus really settles down and that we can all sort of get back to normal. I do hope that it is reminding us all to send a message of love and kindness to everyone, because there's a lot of fear going on right now. So let's try to be kind to each other. But on to the Pickacard reading. So we have 4 piles here. We have the little monkey first, number 1. We have what I think is a kimono dragon, is number 2 with the colors. Number 3 with the little dog. And number 4 with the rose quartz elephant. Follow your intuition and pick a pile. Remember, this is a general reading, so please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. You can follow me at Instagram at mystic_owl_318. And on that, let's move on to pile number 1. Welcome, pile number 1 with the little monkey. What looks like some kind of musical instrument, maybe bringing some joy and passion back to your life. Let's find out what your cards have to say for the month of April 2020. First, you have the 7 of Pentacles. You have the 8 of Pentacles. Your final tarot card is the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, lots of Pentacles energy, interesting. Materialism, wealth, and your assets. We have declutter. You'll feel better and more focused if you take the time to clear away clutter from your living and workspace. Donate what you can to help others who may need your items. Be sure to keep your schedule uncluttered as well. Interesting. Final card that you have here is number 5, heart healing. Okay, the first thing I'm getting for you, pile number 1 for April 2020, I think it's time for you to reconnect with nature. So with the 3 Pentacles cards here, you've got the 7, the 8, and the Queen of Pentacles, and the heart healing, along with the card of declutter and the world in her hand. I really sense that it's time for you to spend more time in nature and to recoup and relax. To really reconnect with yourself and what's around you. There is a strong need, I think, for you to work out what's most important to you, whether that be to actually throw away some things that aren't important, to get rid of the items that maybe you're hoarding in your house or your workspace, to I guess audit the things that are important, the things that you actually need versus the things that you just want to keep. Because when you actually get rid of those things that just aren't so important, it just allows your mind a little bit more space to be able to think freely, I think. Not only do you have more space at home and in the workspace, but it just provides that clarity in your mind to be a little bit more organized. I am sensing also that now is the time for you to really sort of work on whatever it is that just brings you joy and passion in life. So you've got here the card number 5, heart healing. Which really indicates that you should be working from your heart space, basically, and bringing back some passion and joy to whatever it is that you're doing. So April is a time for you to really sort of start receiving the the benefits of whatever it is you've been working on in the past, and to bring some joy back to that process. And that I do sense that you will have some success in April. There is some either monetary success or some earthly rewards for whatever it is that you've been working on. If you've been maybe working in the garden, I think it's time for you to start to see, I guess, the rewards of your harvest, to harvest your rewards. Or in your workspace, it's time that you'll start to receive the benefits and the rewards for the work that you've been putting in. If you've been working on a passion project, then continue with it, because I sense in the near future, in April 2020, you'll actually start to see the benefits coming out of that project, whether that be monetary or just having a little bit more clarity as to what the next step is, basically. I am also seeing here, you've got this angel in the declutter oracle card and the Queen of Pentacles. They look very similar to me, with the orb being held both in the Queen of Pentacles just here and the earth in the declutter card. Now's the time for you to actually start believing in yourself, and that you have the ability to be able to bring whatever it is that you're working on into fruition, that you have the world in your hand, that you can really achieve anything in April if you actually work hard for it. I think the cards are really indicating it's a time for you to sort of knuckle down and to keep working on whatever it is that you've been working on, and that you'll be able to sort of to provide for the people around you, and whether that be through your inspiration and passion, or just monetarily. I think I see a real opportunity for financial growth in these cards if you continue to operate from a place of joy and passion. On that note, let's get some further messages from the Lunar Nomad Oracle deck. Universe, please provide some further insight for pile number 1. What do they need to know for the month of April 2020? These cards are so hard to shuffle. I'm just going to cut the deck. So we have number 17, Stork. Nice. And we have the number 29, Woman. Okay, nice. So there's a really strong feminine energy in this reading, pile number 1. That's not to say that you are female. You may be a male watching this reading, and hello if you are. But I am sensing that there's a really strong time. It's a really strong time for you to start receiving your bounty, basically, to follow your passions and to bring joy into whatever it is that you've been working on. Feminine energy operates primarily from the sacral chakra and from the heart chakra. And they often are the providers and the nurturers. And I sense that this is a really strong time for you to be able to bring joy back to whatever it is you're doing. And if you work from a place of passion and joy, that you'll have success in whatever it is that you're trying to work on. I am sensing also, this is only for a few of you out there, just remember that it is a general reading, but if you are trying to have a child, I think the month of April is a good time for you to get busy, basically. With the heart healing card, you've got the stork, which is, the stork always brings birth to a family, basically. It brings the baby in its mouth. You've got the woman card and a lot of strong feminine energy. I think this is a time for you to potentially raise a family, or to spend a lot of time with your family and to focus on your family requirements. So declutter is a card of operating from home, basically, and decluttering your environment. But another message, just to really nurture, I guess, the project or whatever you've been working on, whether it be a passion project or the hard work that you've been putting on at work, I think is really going to come into fruition if you've been nurturing something for the past few months. And I think April is the time that you'll start to see the benefits of the work that you've been putting in, which is a beautiful message, I think, for pile number 1. I am sensing also, so you've got the card here of stork standing in the water, and a stork being a water bird. You've got the water flowing through the heart healing card, and with the strong feminine energy that you need to be in touch with your emotions. Work out what it is that may be holding you back, and just allow yourself to sort of get in touch with whatever it is that you need to release from your life, to declutter. So not only to declutter your immediate environment, to declutter your mind and your soul of whatever it is that you need to purge from your life. Now is a good time for you to let go of those things that have been holding you back, I think, pile number 1. To really reconnect with nature and your true passions, and to work from that feminine energy of nurturing yourself and others, and being in control of your emotions, basically. Lastly, let's get some further messages from the universe, from the 5 Centauri deck that I have here. Dear universe, please provide some further insight for pile number 1. What do they need to do in order to be successful and to nurture their projects and whatever it is that they've been working on in April 2020? Oops, I'll take that card too. So you have the moon. Lovely. Subconscious, intuition, illusion. The moon being the card of your subconscious, also about operating from your sort of psychic awareness. And you also have the Page of Buttons. That's another pentacle card just there. Pile number 1. That's pretty phenomenal. Dream, endeavour, manifestation, diligence. Okay, that's a beautiful message. So pile 1, I really sense that this is going to be a magical time for you of actually achieving your goals. Whatever it is that you've been working on, it's in April 2020. I really sense that you'll start to see the rewards of that hard work that you've been putting in over the past few months or year. So you've got 4 Pentacles cards that have come out from 2 different decks, which is an indication that it's an abundant time for you, that your that your garden is about to blossom, basically. So once again, there could be a message of now is a time to raise a family or to spend time with family. I don't really want to focus too much on what's going on around the world, but we do know that with this pandemic at this moment, I guess there's a need to really just stay at home and to focus on your family. So I am sensing that it's not due to the events of the world right now, but there is a strong message of just sort of cleansing out your home environment, to focus on your family and to nurture the needs of your family, but also to keep focusing on whatever projects that you've been working on, because the universe is sending you a message that your dreams are coming into fruition, that you will manifest whatever it is that you've been wishing to have come into your life, basically, that all that hard work is paying off. And with the moon card here, the moon also being another orb, so that's 3 orbs and 3 different cards. There's something that you are trying to manifest and hold on to. So there's, I'm getting 2 messages from the moon card that there's something that you need to release in order to allow for these things to come in. Maybe it could be fear of the unknown or fear of it not actually manifesting, but the universe is really telling you that whatever it is that you have been working on is coming your way in April 2020, pile number 1. Just let go of that fear, or maybe trying to control the outcome, I sense. But also that you have the world in your hands, and you have the moon in your hands too, that that it is actually coming your way, that you can achieve your goals, and just believe in your abilities, to keep nurturing whatever project you've been working on. The moon being the card of your intuition and the unknown, mystical abilities. So I'm sensing that as all women do, they're very in tune with their intuition. Just keep believing that whatever you think you need to do, that's the right path, that the universe is really telling you that you've got this, that you have the strength and wisdom inside you, and that you're able to manifest whatever it is. So I see wonderful things for you in April 2020, pile 1. I'd love to know whatever it is that you've been working on, and if you are potentially trying to raise a family right now. Yeah, leave a comment below. That would be really fascinating. Thank you. I bid you all a safe April 2020. Remember to share love and kindness to the people around you. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so. And let's move on to pile number 2. Welcome, pile number 2, with the colourful kimono dragon. I think that's what it is. Time to bring some colour back to your life in April 2020. Let's find out what messages the universe has for you. We have the Ace of Wands in reverse. I'm not sure if you can hear the party going on across the way from me. It is a Saturday afternoon, so my neighbours are having a few drinks and listening to some funky tunes. So I'm just going to roll with it. We have the 5 of Wands. And the last card we have here is the Devil card. And your Oracle cards, we have, it is safe for you to receive. And the message is, the more you allow yourself to receive, the more resources you have available to share with others. Open your arms to receive and be a conduit for good coming to you and through you, as it blesses the world. That's a lovely message. And you have number 6, freedom. Okay, pile number 2. First thing I see is 2 moons. So you've got the moon here in the 5 of Wands. You've also got the moon in the number 6 card. And also I sense that this card with the angel in the park with the animals coming to her, that looks like there's some moonlight or starlight shining down on her. So I think you need to follow your intuition with whatever it is that you're going through. Now is the time for you to trust those gut instincts that are telling you something. And I am sensing that there is something in April 2020 that you are working to release. There's something that maybe has either been holding you back, and that you've really just been vacillating back and forth as to what you need to do and what the next step is to sort of move on from this devil energy and to release something from your life. Either that, or you have a new inspiration, I think, something that you want to do, something new. Maybe it's a little bit scary. You're afraid to take the next step, I'm sensing. So there's 2 messages here. There's something that has been holding you back, or that there is something that you were trying to achieve, that you've got inspiration to undertake a new project or to just start something new in your life, and you're kind of deliberating what you should do. I do know what it's like to feel like there's something that you really want to do, but actually starting that project can be really scary, because you worry about what other people will think, whether it's the right path for you. You fear whether you're going to be successful at it or not, and those things can really stop you from moving forward and actually starting whatever it is that it is you want to do. But I think you've just got to believe in yourself and trust that the universe is guiding you to do something big, or to change your ways a little bit. And remember that if you choose to believe and allow the universe to support you on this path, that and receive the bounty, receive the gift from the universe, that it will be successful, and you'll have enough to be able to provide for the people around you too. The Five of Wands here is indicating to me that that you are back and forth, that you're fighting yourself about your next step, basically. But with the card of freedom here, I am seeing in April 2020 that you will start to follow this path, I think, and have a little bit more belief in yourself and sort of work towards freedom, or at least freeing your mind of the fear of what others think, and letting go of whatever has been really stopping you from taking the next step in your life. So on that, let's get some further insight from the universe with the Lunar Nomad Oracle deck. Universe, please provide some further insight for pile number 2. What's their next step in April 2020? These cards are really hard to shuffle. Your first card that came out is the Clover. Number 2. Lovely. And you have the Ship, number 3. Okay. Wow, that's pretty cool. So you've got so instantly I'm seeing some synchronicities here. You have number 5 and number 6 in the initial cards that came out. You also have number 2 and number 3. So I'm seeing some progression in whatever it is that you're working on. So you are taking the steps, I think, albeit very slowly, to move forward and to work towards your freedom. So if it is a new project, or if you are trying to overcome some sort of internal fear, or potentially some sort of addiction or bad habit, you are actually making the steps to move forward. The next thing I am seeing, so with the Ship card and the World in the background, it also has a compass here. I am sensing that you are being guided by the universe, that you are receiving lots of messages. You need to tap into that intuition and believe in yourself, really, that you know what to do, that you know what it is that you need to do to take the next step in April 2020, and that you are actually progressing, you're moving forward with the ship, the hot air balloon sort of circumnavigating the world. you are actually, even though you may not feel like you're getting anywhere, you are actually setting things in place to make a difference, and to change your ways, or to actually take the next step. And with the Clover card too, so you've got the it's a 4-leaf clover. So a 4-leaf clover is an item of luck, like the shamrock, right? This is a very sort of fortuitous time for you, I think, pile 2. April 2020 is a time for you to sort of progress and to take the next step, and to move towards freedom. Just remembering to work from a place of openness to receive the messages from the universe that your intuition is trying to tap into, but also to receive for yourself, allow and believe that the universe is trying to support you, and remember to give back to the universe and the people around you too. The final thing that I am seeing here, so you have the clock in the background of the Clover card, and you have the compass and the world here in the Ship card. It kind of reminds me of the Wheel of Fortune, basically, in the Standard Tarot deck, which is a card of karma and karmic cycles. I think that you've probably been in a bit of a rut recently. Things haven't been working out for you, but I do sense that you're that April 2020 is a time when things will start to turn around and you'll start moving towards freedom, and that if you actually allow yourself to turn this Ace of Wands in the upright position, and just trust in your own abilities, that you will have success with whatever it is you're trying to manifest in April 2020. I'm not saying that it will instantly occur, but I think April 2020 is a time for you to start really taking steps towards and believing in success. And whether that be just letting go of some bad habits or something that's holding you back, to let go of sort of negative thoughts that are ruminating in your head, or to really start believing in yourself that you can achieve whatever your goal is. I see April 2020 being a beautiful time of working towards a certain desire, basically. Finally, pile 2, I have here the 5 Centauri deck. I'm just going to shuffle to get some further messages from the universe about what you should do in April 2020. Dear universe, please provide some further insight for pile number 2. What else do they need to know? First card you have is the Chariot in reverse. Okay. And that says self-discipline. Right, there you go. Disposition, aggression. And the next card we have is the Unknown in reverse. Interesting. So the Unknown card is a new card from the creator of the 5 Centauri deck. There are 4 new cards. The Unknown is basically a mystery. You don't know what's coming. And sometimes I think the spirit guides in the universe just don't want you to know, basically. Just because surprises can really be inspiring, basically. And I guess if you always knew what was going to happen, then nothing would be inspiring in life. And I know personally that I struggle to not know what's coming next. But I think that for me, that is one of my lessons in life, is to let go of trying to control everything. So I have a sense, pile number 2, that you are really trying to control a certain situation, and maybe there's a little bit of fear as to whether whatever it is you're trying to achieve will manifest, or that you are struggling to let go of the belief that you have of overcoming a certain situation. But just trust that you are being guided too. So it says here egotism, shielding, and reticence, which I don't know what that means, but anyway. Yeah, so you've got the Chariot in reverse and the Unknown in reverse. So the Chariot is a card of like strong, or really rapid change, basically, moving in a new direction. It could be the card of travel. But when it's in reverse, it's basically about just taking, being in control of a certain situation, trying to, well, it says self-discipline, really, just taking steps really slowly. Try not to rush too much to a certain destination or to achieve something so quickly. Just take the small steps one by one that you need to in order to achieve your goal, and in time you will get there. You just need to believe that that the universe has your back and you are working towards freedom. That's the message I'm getting here. So allow the abundance of the universe to come in. Just believe that you deserve whatever it is that you're trying to achieve here. I know sometimes that we try and force situations, right? Like we just want it now, but sometimes, unfortunately, we just have to be a little bit more patient. But if we work slowly towards our goal, and if we believe in ourselves and that we also deserve whatever it is we're trying to achieve, that you will eventually get there, and that your cycle will come, that you are ending this karmic cycle. You just need to change your mindset a little bit and believe that you deserve whatever it is you're trying to manifest or change in your life. And April is a time for you to keep working on your goals. I'm sensing pile number 2. So that's all I have for you, pile 2. Remember to just share some love and to be kind. Just with the current climate, now's the time to really be kind and to just, be gentle with the people around you. There's a lot of fear in the world right now, and the way to combat fear is with love, I think. Just give that stranger a smile as you pass on the street. Hold back on saying those nasty words of fear and operate from your heart, basically, by showing love. Believe in yourself. I hope this resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And let's move on to pile number 3. Welcome, pile 3, with a little brown doggy. Ruff. Let's find out what the universe is trying to tell you for April 2020, what you need to know. Your cards. You have Temperance. Nice. You have the Ace of Swords. Beautiful. You have the Star card. Lovely. It's 2 major arcana. Interesting. You have the card Visualize Abundance in All Forms, which says, God gave you such a great spiritual power that everything you visualize eventually becomes reality. Hold a steady vision of that which is beautiful, healthful, positive, and filled with blessings, and that is what you will experience. Lovely message. And you have the card of Awareness, number 13. Okay. This is the spiritual pile, I think. So April 2020 is a time for I guess spiritual clarity, or just clarity in general with the Ace of Swords here, and the Star card, the card of Awareness. I'm sensing that now is a time that you will gain some clarity on a previous situation. That whatever has been confusing you in the past will come into light, basically, and you'll understand why you've experienced a certain situation. But I am sensing that this is a very spiritually attuned group. So you've got what I think is 3 angels here, basically, in the card of Temperance. Visualize Abundance in All Forms, and the Star card. There's a very strong spiritual influence of divinity here, I think. So I sense you're probably very connected to your spirit guides, and maybe whatever the messages that they've been sending you recently with the card of the Ace of Swords and the card of Awareness, that you'll start to sort of understand the messages that they've been providing you. Just trust in trust in the messages that you're receiving, basically, and trust in yourself too, that you'll actually gain that clarity and that you'll know whatever it is that you need to know for your next step. I think April 2020 is a time where you'll really come into just an understanding about where your life is going. I don't think necessarily you're going to be able to, it's about manifesting things or changing anything so much, but it's about just believing in yourself and the divine wisdom that you're receiving. I do also see a star here in this card, and with the Star card here. So that also just indicates to me that you are being guided, like the North Star, in a sense. You are being guided by the universe and your spirit guides. Finally, I also see what looks to me to be a lot of water energy. So you've got 2 cups here in the card of Temperance. You have 2 cups here and a lot of water in the Star card. And you have, even though I'm not sure if she is underwater in the Awareness card, she looks to me with this as if she is like underwater or submerged underwater, which is an indication that I sense that you'll be finding some emotional balance too in April. If you've felt a little bit afraid or just confused in the recent past, I think that you will find some clarity, basically, and balance out your emotions, and that you'll feel a lot more just at peace with your own being, I sense. Sorry about the noise in the background. I'm not sure what's going on. So just across the way, the next building over is having a bit of a party on the Saturday afternoon, but I think that is like a lawnmower or something. So we'll just have to run with it. It's not exactly clear right now, but I do think that by April you'll find some clarity. Anyway, So let's move on to the Lunar Nomad Oracle deck to get some further insight from the universe about whatever it is that you need to know for April 2020. Dear universe, spirit guides, please provide some further clarity for pile number 3. What information will come to light? This deck is so hard to shuffle. First card we have here is the Woman, which came out of pile number 2 also. Interesting. Women being highly attuned to their intuition. And we have number 1. Interesting. There you go. So you've got 2 ones, the new beginnings, basically. With the Rider and the Camel. Okay. Yeah, I think pile 3. So you've got 2 ones here. So you've got some new beginnings, whatever it is. I think the new beginning will be in the form of clarity or a deeper understanding about yourself for a certain situation that you're in. I am also like pile number 1 too, so there might be a message for you to go back and have a look at pile number 1. If you were sort of deliberating about which pile to choose, if you had thought about picking pile 1, I think there's a message here to go back to pile 1 too, because pile number 1 had a lot of feminine energy also, and I'm seeing that in your cards too. So you've got an angel here, a female angel, because angels I think can be both male or female. Actually, I think they probably embody both traits. So you've got a feminine angel here in the Visualize Abundance in all forms. You've got the Woman here. You've got a female in this image here in the Rider card, and with Temperance and the Star card, strong feminine energy and about just trusting your intuition, I sense, really. So if you are trying to overcome a certain situation, or you've just been a little confused in the past, April 2020 is a time where you will gain some clarity on whatever it is that has been confusing you or just holding you back recently. I do see with the Camel too that you will be moving forward and making progress. There will be some slow progress here in April 2020, that you will overcome a certain situation and cross that bridge, basically. If you've been working from a little bit of fear, basically, or holding back on communicating something to someone or taking the next step, I sense that you will understand why you've been held back recently and actually have some clarity as to the next step and what it is that you need to do. But I just sense that the universe is just guiding you to understanding why you've been through a certain situation and to be able to work from a place of just deeper awareness, essentially. So the last thing we have here, we've got the 5 Cent Tarot deck. I'm just going to get some further messages and insight from the universe about your next step or what it is. Some further information about the information that's coming through to you, basically. The universe, please provide some further clarity for pile number 3. I'm going to start that again. My shuffling has been horrendous today. Okay. First card you have, pile 3, is the Sun card in reverse. Discontent, mania, pessimism. Okay, there you go. And the 8 of Needles, which is imprisonment, self-victim, and entrapment. All right, now I see the deeper message here. Pile 3, you've been in your head a little bit, really. Just being your own worst enemy, I sense. There's a lot of air energy in this reading also. So there's a lot of air and water energy I'm sensing. So I am sensing that pile 3, in your recent past, you have been sort of battling between your head and your heart a little bit. I think there's something that you want to do, or that you sense that you need to do, but your head is saying, no, just follow, do what you think is logical, follow your logic and what makes sense in your head. But then your heart is saying, but I really sense I need to do this instead. And I'm not saying which one is right or wrong, but I can sense that it's been causing you a bit of anxiety and a little bit of emotional discontent. There's been a little bit of fear in terms of not knowing which way to go, potentially. I'm surprised in a way, like the Two of Swords didn't come out, with the lady with the moon card in the back, the moon in the back, sort of choosing between two swords and not knowing which path to take. But I think the message here, really, I'm sensing for you, pile 3, the message here is that in April 2020, that the agony of not knowing, or not knowing which way to go, to follow your head or to follow your heart, and between choosing these two different paths, is going to clear up, that things will start to be a lot more clear. And if you follow your intuition and just trust in the universe to really make the path clear to you, that you will actually find harmony and clarity, I sense. April 2020 is a time for you to really wake up to the next step and to know which path to take. It's a beautiful message, really. I would love for you to overcome this fear or just the anxiety that you've been experiencing in your recent past. I'd also love for you to leave a message about whether that resonates with you, and if so, what you've been experiencing. Because I sense that you're just going to find a bit more freedom in your near future, from April 2020 onwards. Just before we finish up, I just wanted to share a message about sharing love and kindness to the people around you. I just saw the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 as I said that, so I'm going to take that as a strong synchronicity and confirmation from the universe. So we all need to really be kind to each other and to operate from a place of love and not fear. With what's going on with the world right now, I think everyone could just do with a little bit more love. So, smile at that stranger as you pass them in the street. Offer some money to the homeless. Protect yourself, of course, but love yourself too. Show yourself some love and kindness also. Because right now, the world and the greater consciousness just is yearning for some love and harmony. So be kind to yourself and others. I hope that resonated with you, pile number 3. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And let's move on to pile number 4. Welcome, pile 4, with the rose quartz elephant. Isn't he cute? Let's find out what is coming your way, or what the universe wants you to know for April 2020. Oh, that's right. So when I was shuffling out the cards earlier, 4 cards came out, and it was pretty obvious that the universe wanted me to keep all 4 cards. So I've kept all 4 tarot cards for you. First card you have, pile number 4, is the 7 of Swords in reverse. You have the High Priestess in reverse also. You have the 5 of Swords in reverse. Interesting. Oh, sorry, mine's the camera. And you have the 6 of Swords in reverse. Your oracle cards, you have blocking out distractions. Your life purpose and other priorities need your undivided attention, so it's time for you to take charge of your schedule and working environment by turning off electronics and avoiding anyone or anything that distracts you from what's important. You already know what these distractions are, and you have the power. You have the power to responsibly block them out. And the last card that you have here is number 19, Healing Grief. All right, pile 4. I sense that this is probably not going to be a very pleasant message, unfortunately. But, you know, there are other cards to come out, so I'm sure we'll get some clarity about what's going on and what you need to do. But based on the cards here, I sense that you've had a bit of a rough time recently. So all of those cards, all the tarot cards have come out in reverse, which is an indication that you're really operating from a, let's say, a darker place emotionally. I am sensing a lot of anxiety actually here. So you have the, I just noticed that you've got the 5 of Swords, you've got the 6 of Swords, and you've got the 7 of Swords, right? So it's a strong progression. In those sequence, there's a strong progression there in the sword sequence. Just give me a moment to get an understanding of these cards. Okay, I sense that you feel like someone's really let you down, or that you've been mistreated in a way, actually. So you've got here the 7 of Swords and the 5 of Swords. The 5 of Swords is about winning at all cost, and basically just being ruthless in a sense, actually, in terms of achieving your goals. So you don't really care so much about other people's feelings. You just want to achieve your goals at all costs, being extremely competitive in a sense. And the 7 of Swords is the card of trickery, basically. Somebody tricking you, or somebody stealing something from you. It's also a card of guilt too. In reverse, I'm sensing that there's either some guilt or just some anger and frustration. I sense that you've been let down by someone, really. And it could also be yourself. You may have let yourself down somehow in your recent past. And you really are struggling to move on and to let go of a certain situation. With the 6 of Swords in reverse, you are struggling to move forward into that clearer water, basically. But I do sense that the universe is actually trying to assist you here in how to overcome this grief, or this anxiety, whatever it is that you're in your own head about something, and you're just holding on to it, I think. You're angry at someone for something, really, and you're not letting go of this anger, I think. Potentially you've had some grief or some heartache, and you've really struggled to understand why something has happened. Maybe someone you know or care for has hurt you or has passed on. Things didn't work out the way that you had planned or anticipated, and you're just you're really like upset about it and not sort of progressing forward. But I do sense that the universe is guiding you to let go of this situation and to heal this grief. So you've got here the High Priestess in reverse, and you've got the Moon in the 6 of Swords card. You've also got the Owl here, which is a spirit animal of wisdom and guidance. That the universe is trying to assist you to move forward, but you potentially have been blocking out those messages, I sense. But it's now time in April 2020 to let go of this grief or this anger, to stop beating yourself up, or to stop sort of ruminating about the situation, and to take the steps to move forward, to allow the healing to occur. So with the card of block out your distractions, I think that there's something that you're meant to learn from this situation. I really sense that you've been through this experience as a learning experience. Maybe try look at it from a bigger picture, like the owl, the wise owl, seeing things from a higher point of view. Instead of sort of ruminating and trying to work out why this experience happened and holding on to anger and pain, look at it from a third-party perspective and just see what you can learn from this experience. I sense that you've been through some heartache and pain, but it's for a reason, pile 4. And it's now time to actually try and let go of this situation, but to see it as a learning experience and to understand the lessons that you've actually gained from whatever it is you've been through. It does say in this card of block out distractions, it's time for you to take charge of your schedule and working environment by turning off electronics and avoiding anyone or anything that distracts you from what's important. You already know what these distractions are, so I think you're trying to just, not only are you in your own head about whatever's going on and you're quite angry and holding on to a certain feeling or emotion about it, but you're also avoiding doing the things that you know will help you to sort of overcome this issue. So it might be time for you to take a break and to reassess your priorities. Get away from anyone that is not helping you out. Get away from your phone and TV and those addictions, basically, and take some time to really reassess and understand this from a different perspective. Let's move on to the Lunar Nomad Oracle cards to get some further insight on the situation. Dear Universe, pile 4 have been through the ringer, I think. Let's see if we can get some guidance on what they should do to move forward and overcome the situation. I find these cards so hard to shuffle. Oops, sorry about the camera. There we go. There's one card. So your first card, pile 4. Aura 37. That's a beautiful card. Look at all the colors in the card. It's lovely. And you have a butterfly here. Butterfly being the spirit animal of transformation and changes, basically coming out of your cocoon, overcoming a situation, knowing that you have the strength to transition and change. And your next card is Shears. Number 10. Whoop. Okay, the scissors, the shears, number 10. Firstly, 10. You've got 2 10s here that have come out, actually. I've just noticed, wow. So you've got 10 with shears. You've also got 10 with the aura, 3 and 7 reducing to 10. 10's being the end of a cycle. It's time now for you to actually overcome or let go of whatever you have been allowing to defeat you recently. The anger, the frustration, the grief. The internal ruminating negative thoughts that you've been holding on to, the distractions, basically. It's time, April 2020 is time for you to change your mentality, really. It's a time for you to change your mentality, to cut through the BS that you keep telling you yourself. I think that you've been a little bit hard on yourself too, pile 4. Something didn't work out the way you want, or there was a situation that caused you a lot of pain and grief, and you've been really hard on yourself and just not understanding or not wanting to understand why a certain thing happened the way it did. But yes, you're being guided. So you have the owl here and you have the butterfly. It's time for you to transition and to see things from a different perspective. Stop being so negative, really. And I'm sorry to say that, but I really sense that you've been in your own head. And that you haven't overcome a certain situation because you are telling yourself things that aren't true. I do sense that you're a very powerful individual and that you really are quite connected when you want to be with your spirit guides. That you actually do understand what it is that you need to do, but you've just not allowed yourself to do that, or you haven't believed that you had the strength to overcome the situation. But you've got 2 10s here, which reduced to 1, which is a new beginning. It's time for you to change your habits and to get out of your head a little bit and to just take the steps that you need to do to move on. Because you've got 5, 6, 7 here in the oracle, in the tarot cards, all suit of swords, all in the suit of swords. It's time for you to gain some clarity from the High Priestess and to move forward and to take those steps to change your way. As I said earlier, cut through the BS that you keep telling yourself, because you're a beautiful butterfly underneath that's really willing to come out and to show itself to the world. Lastly, pile 4, we have the 5 Centauri deck here. I'm just going to get some further insight and messages from the universe about what it is that you need to do. Universe, please provide some further insight for pile 4. How do they overcome this negative situation that they're in? Your first card is the Knight of Cups, the Charmer. Romance, proposal. Interesting. And your final tarot deck, the 6 of Needles. Okay. Oh, there goes my stomach. You've got the 6 of Needles here. So that's come out twice, which is always a powerful message from the universe to pay attention to that card, or the message in that card. The 6 of Needles is the 6 of Swords in the standard tarot deck. Rite of passage, it says. So I am sensing, so it's a time for you to move on, to believe in your own abilities to overcome a certain situation. I sense that there's a lesson that you're meant to learn from whatever it is that you've been through. And it's time for you to move into calmer waters in April 2020. So the message is really, the message from this reading is really positive, in a sense that it is time for you to take heed of your own abilities, and believe in yourself that you can overcome whatever grief or heartache you've been through, and to transition to a calmer place of within your own mind. You have the ability to really change your own habits and ways, Paul. For April 2020 is a time for you to treat yourself like the Knight of Cups, basically, who is the real sort of romantic and charmer in the deck. But I think the message from this reading is that it's time for you to treat yourself like your own romance, to be in love with yourself, to take care of yourself, to start being kinder to yourself, pile 4, because no one deserves to be that hard on themselves. We're all just here to learn lessons in life. Whatever experience that you've been through, it may have been hard, and you may not have dealt with it in the way that you think you should have, or it may not have turned out the way that you wish it had. But just cut through the negative talk and believe that you have the ability to overcome this situation. Treat yourself with some kindness. Be your own best friend, basically. You deserve to operate from a place of love too. Block out your distractions. Get off your phone. Maybe start meditating too. I think that will help calm your mind a little bit. Take some time out in nature. Maybe do some meditation. Even journaling, something like that, just to get your thoughts out of your head and onto paper and into a different dynamic, I think. Just before we finish up pile 4, I just wanted to send a message of love and kindness. I think it's time for the world to really start showing some more love and kindness to everyone around us. So when you see that stranger on the street, just send them a smile. Maybe give $1 or $2 to that homeless person on the street. Just share some kind words to the people that are really struggling in life right now. And I think you could probably do that to yourself also. Just because the world is screaming out for kindness and love, I think the world is operating too much from a place of fear right now. And the best thing that we can do is to overcome it by fighting fear with love. And I think for you, pile 4, it starts by showing some love to yourself and being kinder to yourself. If this resonated with you, pile 4, I'd love to know whatever you've been through. And to also have an understanding about how you've been, whatever it is that you've been telling yourself that probably isn't true. If it did resonate, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.